Hi, Caledonian Biker, welcome back to the channel. For those who are my subscribers, thanks very much for subscribing, and those who haven't subscribed, hopefully you'll subscribe after the video. So, today we're going to talk about my R1300 GS. Now, I bought this bike a year ago exactly, just now in November 2023. I've had a lot of fun on the bike, and I'm going to tell you all my reviews, all my thoughts, all the things I've modified on the bike, some of which has been publicised on the video before, and you'll get all of my thoughts on the bike after a year's ownership, after my short intro. Roll the intro. Sticking around, I hope you enjoyed my intro. Now, just over a year ago, BMW revealed, after a long expected release, with bated breath, the all new R1300 GS. A bike to replace the well heralded and documented R1250 GS. For me, when I saw this bike in my dealership in the flesh, it was love at first sight. Its lines and presence, performance and weight, all added up for me. Lighter, faster and more high-tech. After a year of ownership and also being able to ride my R1250 GS Rally back to back with it on an almost weekly basis, is the R1300 GS really worth it? The GS motorcycle needs no introduction, with it being around for over 40 years, especially since I had to part exchange my gorgeous 40th anniversary edition for my new R1300 GS trophy. The GS throughout this time has been legendary in the dual sports adventure bike category, outselling its rivals way beyond belief, and dare I say it, it was helped along the way with my fellow countrymen on his adventures with his pal. Both Ewan and Charlie certainly promoted this bike's capability. They enhanced its legacy while in their pursuit of adventure biking heroism in their long way round and down series, thus inspiring generations of adventure hungry riders. So after the epic performances of the R1200 GS and R1250 GS's, could this R1300 GS live up to and surpass these iconic bikes? Also, with the stiffer competition now out there, with the likes of the KTM 1390 and Ducati adventure bike to name a few, BMW needed to get itself a new leaner and meaner adventure bike to put the mix in with its rivals. So they sent their GS down the gym, making it the lightest in the adventure bike category, 12 kilograms lighter than the 1250. But quintessentially, BMW gave it the most torque in the category, stripping the KTM 1390 of that crown. With its new frame, new suspension, new bodywork and that well talked about headlight, this 1300 GS was light years away from the 1250 GS in every sense, in my opinion. Not to mention either the most important part, the new engine with the gearbox now situated below the engine. This new engine produced 145 brake horsepower and 110 pounds-foot of torque, or 140 newton meters, depending on what you prefer. This now was the most powerful boxer engine BMW had ever produced. With the spec of my bike, I went for Enduro X, because at 6'4", I felt the standard GS 1300 was a bit compact for me. So with the new Enduro X, I get an increase in the suspension of 30mm, which is an upgrade for more off-road bias, which suits me. The bike also came with crash bars, lower pegs, bar risers, a bigger, heavier duty bash plate, short levers, centre stand, and I got traditional front indicators, not the ones that are used in the handguards on the standard model. My bike also came with the 50/50 on-off road tyres, and my favourite accessory of all, the gorgeous forged alloy Enduro wheels, giving the bike a further 2 kilograms weight saving and much quicker steering. The old spoked wheels which are traditional with the GS and GSA models, were a hassle to clean. Now a quick sponge over and wipe down, my wheels are sorted. Well worth the extra cost of the upgrade at £925. I also love the taller rally styled plank type seat, again suiting my height. With this seat you can also change from a soft ride to a hard ride by just simply moving a lever forward underneath the seat. Very easily done and worthwhile depending if you want a harder seat or a soft seat. My bike also came with a DSA suspension and a dynamic rider package so I could get more modes on the bike. With the new bike you have the facility to fine tune the suspension up to 35 different settings and also fine tune the throttle positions likewise. As far as I'm concerned, this is a game changer over other bikes and it allows you to play about with your suspension and throttle settings to suit yourself in any of the modes. I've also upgraded my end can and not the Acra double end can which comes in at £965. I went for the single version Acra Povi end can which is about £750. I also added the QD Italian made downpipes, giving an extra 10 brake horsepower to the bike total and an additional torque and a realistically good weight saving too. But the noise alone justifies this mod. Please view my video on the sound and also 3 shorts videos on the fitting of the system to my bike. The standard R1300 GS does however offer a variety of other mods and specs that this Enduro bike doesn't have. These include radar cruise control, blind spot detection, lane changing warning, front collision warning and adaptive ride height. BMW were behind in the tech department, so they really needed to bring in these new features. Personally, I can't comment on these upgrades as my bike doesn't come with any of them, but it does have a standard cornering ABS, traction control, quick shifter, cruise control, wheelie control, semi-active suspension, 5 rider modes, fog lamps, SOS button, phone connectivity, sat-nav prep, and another great feature which I really like is the fact that I can charge my phone when on the move in the tray at the top of the tank. Underneath this tray there is a charging point for a small cable to connect into and then into your phone, and your phone is constantly charged while you're on the go. My bike doesn't come with the well-liked new electric windscreen which carries fab reviews from so many riders and owners. My windscreen, as you see here, is more basic. It's a hand operated Enduro bike style setup, but works fine for me, and with my old R1300 GS 40th screen flip up on it, I've got no issues when riding the bike. I've also slimmed mine down a little bit more with the removal of the rear foot peg and the rear mudguard. I fitted a BMW supplied new exhaust hanger at £70 cost, which tidies up the end can on the bike. I also fitted the Optimate system to the bike, and it's the Optimate 1 for this bike since the bike has got a lithium battery. My bikes, whether they've got trackers or not, are all fitted with Optimates. As far as I'm concerned, I believe in continually keeping my batteries top, so please consider this for yourselves with your bikes. If you've been following on the tube and Google since the launch of this new bike, you will have seen and read that there's been some issues with some of the bikes. But with the BMW 3-year no hassle warranty, buying the first generation model for me isn't a problem. However, I've been very fortunate with my bike. It's not given me any hassles at all in 12 months of riding and ownership. There was a simple recall which had a starter relay fitted, and this was carried out by my local dealership at my 600-mile service. I know in the press a few issues have been reported with the ride height adjustment and also the Touratech luggage that came with the first models, but as I say, I can't comment on both these scenarios as I never purchased either of them. In the real world, with this bike, it has lit my fire over a year of ownership. With its superior power, suspension and the big weight loss, over the outgoing 1250 GS, which I still own and ride regularly. However, I've heard a few moans and groans about the quick shifter on the R1300 GS still not been smooth enough for some folks liking it, but I'm sorry, I find it very good when I'm on it and pushing it. I've never felt an issue, and to be honest, the whole package I have on my bike never fails to bring a massive grin on my face whilst riding it. I ride in all weathers and all types of terrain. It might not have the top end of the Ducati, and the KTM might be slightly better on an off-road basis. I recently done on my channel a comparison between the Triumph 1200 Tiger and my R1300 GS. To me personally, I preferred my R1300 GS over the Triumph. After decades of riding globally, it's all about the torque of a bike. That's where the beating heart is, and that's what gets you going on a bike, gets you sitting up, taking notice, and to me, the R1300 GS has this over its opposition in abundance, and makes it for me the best all-round adventure bike out there, and also my favourite ever GS. So just to recap, as far as I'm concerned, I have no doubt and no regrets over my purchase 1 year ago of the R1300 GS. As I just said, it's my favourite GS, and I've owned 5 GSs in total and done almost 100,000 miles in them. Thanks for sticking around, hopefully to the end of the video. Well, you heard all the things I've done to the bike. You've also heard all the ups and downs with the bike, but not particularly my bike. I've been very, very fortunate. And just like this man behind you, you've had all my thoughts, and he's pouncing as well, his thoughts. As far as I'm concerned, just to finish off, this is by far the best GS motorcycle I've owned, and I've been riding motorcycles for many decades and had numerous motorcycles, and this is so much fun. So please interact with me on this. Give me your questions, give me your viewpoints, leave it all in the comments field below, and if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Caledonian Biker, thank you very much. Cheers for now.